I want you to listen very closely to what I'm about to say. Think critically about what I'm about to say, because there's a lie at the center of modern America, and it's tearing the country apart. It's the claim that you can build a stable society by elevating inclusion and diversity as the foundation of a country rather than the result of a free country. These ideals, they sound compassionate, but they cannot hold a civilization together. No functioning nation in the history of the world has ever been built on competing identities with no shared center. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Every surviving civilization has had one thing in common, and that was a unifying creed, a shared moral reference point, a fixed point, an understanding of what is right and what is wrong, what is sacred and what is non-negotiable. That's what produces cohesion in a citizenship and society. That's what gives a people a direction instead of a drift, okay? That's exactly how America was founded and built. Now, the founders did not launch a national experiment based on infinite lifestyles, infinite identities, and infinite interpretations of truth. I'm sorry, but they didn't. They built a country on a specific set of propositions. Human beings are born with rights. Those rights come from God. They don't come from government. Liberty requires virtue. A republic requires a moral citizenry. That was the American center. It was very clear. It was very defined, and also it was very unapologetic, and they risked their lives to defend it. Diversity did not create the American creed. The American creed created the conditions where diversity could flourish. We get it backwards these days. Immigrants from every corner of the world came not because America was a blank canvas, but because it was a moral project that was worth joining. And they assimilated into the American identity. They took on the American story. They did not demand the nation suddenly accommodate 1,000 incompatible truths. They aligned with the one truth that held everyone together. Are you with me so far? Now, what I'm telling you is quite compassionate, because the other side of this is destroying the country. That entire order today has been flipped upside down. Modern elites have decided the creed is optional and identity is ultimate, and they believe unity will magically appear if we spotlight every difference and elevate every grievance. We're manufacturing oppression and just building victimhood. The moment a nation makes diversity the highest goal, it guarantees fragmentation, because the society becomes ungovernable when every group claims its own truth, its own morality, and its own definition of what the country should even be. Now, I hope you're hearing what I'm saying and not what I'm not. See, we're looking at the fallout, and it's everywhere today. Social trust is in a free fall. Civic institutions can't agree on their purpose. Schools are teaching competing moral visions. Cities are fracturing along their cultural lines. The public square has become a battleground of clashing identities with no shared moral language. That's not progress. That is national entropy. Now, let me define this clearly so that no one can twist it, although I know there are those out there who will. But let me try. Unity doesn't mean uniformity. Diversity does not mean chaos. Inclusion does not mean moral relativism. And that's what those things are producing when we use those words these days. When unity can't survive, when the shared creed collapses, listen, unity can't survive when you don't have that moral fabric together. Diversity cannot strengthen a nation when there's no common story to join. Inclusion can't work when the center is forbidden to exist. A nation can welcome a lot of different people, but it can't survive a lot of different moral foundations. A civilization cannot be held together by expanding categories of identity. It can only be held together by the truths that everyone must honor, or nothing holds at all. America has worked for these hundreds of years because at its core convictions were strong enough to bind people into one shared identity. America declines when those convictions are diluted or denied, or they get dismantled, and that's what's happening today. When the center collapses, the rest collapses with it, because inclusion becomes confusion, and diversity becomes rivalry, and rights become weapons, and the nation spins it into tribalism. Are you listening? Are you hearing? See, the myth is not that diversity or inclusion are wrong. They're not. The myth is that they can replace the creed that built the country. They can't do that. They were never supposed to, because a civilization stands or falls on its center, not on its categories. America rose to greatness because its foundation was strong. America fractures when that foundation is now treated like a problem. And America will recover only by rebuilding the very center that made all of the rest possible. So remember, folks, we got the cart in front of the horse. Let's get the foundational values back, and all those things you claim to want, they will take care of themselves. I love you. God bless you. But pay attention. Watch it again if you have to.